Today, we are going to be talking about how to actually apply for a visa or a green card now that you have won the DV lottery for 2023. I'm sorry, 2024. So, you won the lottery. Congratulations. If you have not actually checked to see if you won, please make sure to do that. And then, if you did win, you need to know what your number is. So you look at your case number. You should have gotten a letter, or when you check it, it will tell you your case number. And you need the last numbers after the 00000s. There's a number there. That's what you need to check if you are now ready to apply for the visa or the green card. So it is so important that you not only know what your number is, but that you are paying attention to the visa bulletin to see when your number comes up so that you can be ready to go. Today, though, last week I told you how to check the visa bulletin and stay up to date with that. This week, I am going to be showing you how to actually apply for the visa, because it's one thing to win the lottery, but if you don't actually apply for the visa, it doesn't matter, right? If you don't actually get your visa, it doesn't matter. So let's make sure that you not only, right, that you not only get um, the visa, but that you actually enter the US. Okay. So, first, check if you won the lottery. Great. You know you won. You have your letter, you have your case number. Now, check if your number has come up on the visa bulletin. Once you know that your number has come up, now it's time to apply for the visa. I'm going to start by talking about people applying for a visa because that's most people that win the lottery are outside of the US and they're going to be applying for a visa. Okay. So if you're outside of the US and you're going to be applying for a visa after you win the lottery, listen up. I will also talk about people in the US that won the lottery and how you can apply for a green card in the US. So, first, you need to go on the CEAC website. I'm actually going to give you the link. So you go here. This is where you will actually apply for the visa. So when you go on this website, it will ask you for your case number. Again, case number matters, right? In everything you're doing from now on, it's not your confirmation number that matters, it's your case number. So, your case number, your case number, your case number. You need to know that. So, when you go on the CAC website, the first thing that you will see is that it will ask you for your case number. You need to put that in. Okay? You cannot move forward, you cannot move forward unless you put that in. And once you put that in, then you are able to go ahead and actually um, see what you qualify for. Okay. So once you go ahead and put your case number, and it will tell you if your case number is right or wrong. All right. So it will give you these right here and tell you case number is required. All right. So you have to check off that you understand the privacy policy, right? The Privacy Act notice that they put right here. And then you're going to put your case number and you're going to continue. And once you enter that information, it will take you in to actually be able to then apply for the DS 260. Okay. So if you're out here, you're waiting for your number to come up and you're wondering, what do you need your DS 260. Okay. You need to look up DS 260. You need to look up what information is required on the DS 260. You need to have all that information ready to go. You need to have all that information ready to go so that when your number comes up, you can go ahead and fill it in. Okay. So one of the things that people have the most issue with when it comes to the DS260 is the address. So most people that apply for the lottery, they may have moved around or they may have been in the same place since they were born, right? If you're in the category of people that have moved around a lot, just know you're going to need every single place that you have lived since you were 16 years old. Okay? Every single place that you have lived since you were 16 years old. So you need to include that on your application. So if you don't remember some addresses, if you need to call your parents and get information from them, please do that. Okay? Do that because it's going to make such a difference for you to have all those things ready to go so that once um you know once your number comes up, you can actually then go in and start putting in the information because guess what? You have already gathered all the information. You have everything ready to go. So all you really have to do is go ahead and apply. Okay? So let me show you where you go to find a sample DS260. The US Department of State really tries to make it easy for you. However, they try. However, it's not really obvious on their website where to get this information, which is why I will be sharing them with you. All right. So if you go on this URL, you will get the PDF. It's like 111 pages that walks you through how to sign in, what you need to sign in with, right? You need to put your case number, you need to put your invoice ID number, you need to select who you are, and you need to do all of that in order to then be able to get in to the DS 260. So there's steps that you have to go through, and this document that this link will tell you exactly what you need. So I'll actually share that screen with you so that you see what I'm talking about. Because it's one thing to like know what you need to do, it's another thing to actually see what you need to do. Okay. So you need to, let me see if I can make this bigger for you to see better. Okay. Can you see that a little better? Okay. So here, the first thing you do is log in, as always, right? The first thing you want to do is log in. Like I said, you'll need your case number. It shows you step by step. Okay. That's why I'm sharing this with you because the goal is to make sure that you actually get the visa. Okay. So I want to share this with you so you know exactly where to go and get all the information you need. So you need the case number, the invoice ID number. These two numbers will be sent to you. Okay. You will have this number. You'll select who you are, and then you'll enter this to show, of course, that you are a human. And then, so you see how these are set up. So you will select that you're the applicant, unless, like, if you're hiring a lawyer, the lawyer will go ahead and select attorney and do the DS260 and everything else for you. When you log in, this is what you will see. Okay. This is what you will see. You will go ahead and complete the DS260. That's why it says incomplete. That's the DS260. You're the principal applicant if you're the one that won. If you have children and a spouse that was added to your DV lottery application, right? So in the DV lottery application, they ask you if you're married and if you have children. If you said yes and put their information and everything in there, when you log in, you'll see principal and then you'll see derivatives. You will see your spouse's name, your children's name right under yours. And you would need to complete the DS260 for every single family member, not just your own. unless, of course, your family is not coming with you. So that's something to keep in mind. If your family is not coming with you, then you just need to fill out your own DS-260 and that's it. If your family is going to come with you, then everyone's DS-260 needs to be filled out. So, like I said, your name, date of birth, marital status, these are all information that should match what is on your DV lottery application, unless, right? Unless something changed. So, for example, if your marital status at the time that you filed for the lottery was single, and since filing for the lottery, you have gotten married, your marital status is going to change. Okay, so you're going to update this and say your marital status now is married. And once you complete your DS-260, your spouse can be added to your application so that they can come with you. It's very important that you pay attention to the little details, because that's really where you win or lose. Okay, so this website right here has a step by step guide. If you need additional help, feel free to reach out. I am more than happy to take on your case and help you with this. But I do want to put this out there so that you have the information so that you can actually get your visa. Things to keep in mind as you're going through this process, as you're looking at this and making sure that you have all the right information and everything ready to go. Make sure, again, the name that you're putting on there is the same name that's on your birth certificate, that's on your passport. Like, don't start changing the spelling of your name, please. Right? Whatever is on your birth certificate, whatever is on your passport, that's what you're going to put. If you did a name change, like if you legally changed your name, however it works in your country, you need to show proof of that. Okay? But you really need to make sure that you disclose every single name you've used. So if the spelling of your name is different, you need to disclose that as well. So just really be careful and detailed in how you're entering the information. Okay, be careful and detailed on how you're entering the information, and you can get a head start on most people by having all the information already filled out, so that when you're ready to go, you can just go in there and knock it out in one day, because you've taken the time waiting for your number to come up. You've taken the time to get all that information ready to go, so that once it comes up, you are beating everyone else because you're able to put in your information and have your DS-260 submitted as soon as possible. The next thing you need to make sure you do is to please get your police certificate. Okay. You need to get a police clearance certificate, because you need to upload that. You need your passport, because you need to upload it. You need your birth certificate. Again, every single person on your application, this includes your spouse, your children, they need their birth certificate, they need their passport. So make sure that you are including all of that, and you have it ready to go. Anyone that's 14 and over needs a police clearance certificate. Okay, anyone 14 and over needs a police clearance certificate. So get those as well. Like I said last week, it can get expensive, right? The visa process can get expensive, because now you need a clearance certificate. You're going to need a medical. If you don't already have your passport, you need to file to get a passport, because you cannot go through this process. You cannot complete the DS-260 if you do not have a passport. Okay? You cannot complete the DS-260 for your child if your child does not have a passport. So start the process now. Do not wait. Okay? Waiting only makes it take longer. And remember, I said last week, there's a very limited amount of visas, and a whole lot of people that won the lottery. So you want to be the first one to get your application in, to get yourself in line for an interview so that you get the visa before everyone else that's taking their time, right? That are not listening to this, that are not taking their time to put together the documents ahead of time. Okay. You want to do everything ahead of time so that you are not waiting. All right. That's the really important thing here. You don't want to be waiting. You do not. All right. So once you fill out your DS260, you upload the documents, right? Once you complete the DS260 and submit, once you hit that submit button, you cannot change anything, any information you put in there, unless either the National Visa Center or the embassy gives you permission to go back in and change it. Okay, so that's why they let you review the information you put in. Make sure you review it carefully and make sure everything on there is accurate before you hit submit. Because again, once you hit submit, that's what the officer that's going to interview you is going to see. So be very careful, pay close attention. All right. Once you submit the DS260, then the documents tab will open up for you. Once you click on it, it will tell you what documents you need to provide based on the information you put on your DS260. So, for example, if on your DS260 you put that you lived in Ghana from the time you were 16 to the time you were 21, and then you lived in Nigeria for a year, right? Till you were 22, and then you went back to Ghana. Guess what? You're going to need a police clearance certificate for Ghana and for Nigeria. So even though you may be a Ghanaian citizen, right? You only went to Nigeria for 1 year. Any place that you have lived for 6 months or more, you need a police clearance certificate. So that's why it's really important to pay close attention to your dates so that you know if you live there for more than for 6 months or more, you're going to need a police clearance certificate, and you're going to go ahead and request that now and not wait, because the more you wait, the closer you are to not being able to get your visa on time. So those are things you need to pay attention to now. I know people that, their parents are in the military and they moved around a lot, have this issue. They have the issue where they've moved around so much. Sometimes they move from country to country, depending on where their parent is posted, that they now have to go to every single country and get that police clearance certificate. But it's good to know ahead of time, and you can start the process and not wait. Okay. So once you upload all your documents and click submit, next thing you're going to receive is an email from the MVC. So the MVC will either tell you that they've received all your documents and they don't need anything else from you, so you are documentarily qualified. And now they're just waiting for an interview for you. Or they're going to tell you that maybe they need an additional document, or one of the documents you submitted is not good enough. So, this is not the document we need, kind of thing. Once they tell you that you are documentarily qualified, now you just wait for your interview to be scheduled. That's what that means. The next thing is the interview. You need to be prepared for the interview. You need to be prepared for the interview, okay? If your whole family is applying, everyone needs a medical. So once you know your interview date, you can go ahead and get your medical exam done and ready to go. You can prepare for your interview by just figuring out what are the qualifications for a DV lottery. If you qualified because of employment, you need to make sure you're ready to talk about that employment. If it's education, you need to make sure that you have the documentation to prove your education. All right. Do not wait. Like, if you have to get your transcripts, if you have to get your diploma and you've lost them, go get them. Okay, go and get them, because that is what's going to make a difference. You don't want to go to your interview and they ask you for the, proof that you actually meet the DV requirements, and you're sitting there looking at the officer like, I don't have it on me. Guess what's going to happen? The officer must refuse you the visa and ask you to drop off or come back to bring that document. Again, there's a limited amount of visas available. You do not want to do anything that will make the officer have to refuse you the visa or have to make you come back again. No, you want to do it once and get approved on that date. Okay. So once you have your interview, your case will either be approved, refused, or denied. All right. Denied is the bad one, right? Denied means we have everything we need and we don't think you qualify for the visa. Refused means we need something from you. You need to go and get this and bring it back to us. And then approved, of course, is the one everyone wants. That's what you want. You want to be approved. You want to be done basically with that process. So if you are approved, they will take your passport and they will put a visa in it, typically not the same day, but within a couple of weeks, you can pick it up and you can fly to the US. And once you enter the US, you will be a permanent resident. Now, what do you do to actually get the card? You will need to apply, basically pay a fee to USCIS to get the physical card. But just know the second you land in the US, go through security, enter US soil, you are now a permanent resident of the United States. Congratulations. Now, if you are in the US, you have your, you have a visa, you are, let's say you're a student in the US, you have a student visa, you're attending school, and your number comes up. You won the lottery, and then you're paying attention to the visa bulletin, your number comes up, and you're just like, oh, do I have to apply at the embassy? No, you can just apply for a green card in the US because you are still in valid status. So basically, what that means is you can go ahead and file an I-485. That's the application to adjust your status. And you just have to check off the box that says DV lottery and include the supporting documents. Again, birth certificate, passport, medical exam. In the US, you can actually do your medical exam and include that with your application just to speed up the process. That's actually what I personally recommend. Do not just send in the application without the medical. You want the officer to look at your case as a complete packet, right? If they look at your case as a complete packet, you already have the medical in there, they can just approve you. They don't have to send you a request for the medical, which will delay the process. I had a case where we were close to September, very close to September 30th, when it was like, it's either you get this or you never do. And we sent it in and we made sure to include the medical. We made sure to have every single thing in there. And guess what? It was able to be approved on time because we gave the officer everything they needed to approve the case. So make sure that when you are applying in the US, because you're in valid status, that you are including your medical exam. Do not forget to pay the KCC fees. Okay. Do not forget to do that. I typically recommend paying the fees before sending your application, at least sending in the fees before sending in your application. But guess what? You can do it after. I've had a client where they sent it, we were able to send in their application and then send in the KCC fees. You just have to make sure that you get the fees in almost at the same time as you are getting your application in, so that when they check their system, they can see that you have paid. Okay. That's really important, because if you don't pay the KCC fees, you are not getting you're not getting approved. So because that's part of the requirement. So make sure you're paying that fee and of course your filing fee. But yeah, that's all you have to do if you are in the US. And guess what? Because you're in the US and you're invalid status, you can also add on a work authorization application and a travel permit application, all for the same fee. So again, if you're in the US, you won the lottery, you can apply for an I-485 to adjust your status and make sure you pay the KCC fees. Make sure that you include your medical exam report in there so that the officer has every single thing they need to approve your case. And of course, include a work authorization application, the I-765, and the work permit, the I-131, the travel permit, the I-131, so that again, as your green card application is processing, let's say you're one of the lucky ones and your number is up on like October 1st. You can apply for a green card on October 1st and include the travel permit and the work authorization. If USCIS takes, months to approve your um, work author work authorization or the green card, you have both pending, so you can actually get one of them approved first and just move on with your life, right? So once your green card is approved, that's it. You have your card, you wait 5 years, you apply for citizenship. And once your green card is approved, if you have children outside of the US, you can apply for them to come to the US. If you decide to get married, you can apply for the person you're married to. It's a whole cascade of things that you can now do. And then once you become a citizen, you can apply for parents, siblings, fiance, all those things. So it is a great, great opportunity. If you are a winner, just remember, if you are outside of the US, you need to go and do your DS-260. Let me just share the links again. This is where you would log in with your case number and invoice ID number to go ahead and start the DS-260 visa application process. This is also where you will upload your birth certificate, passport, police clearance certificate, all of that in here for yourself and your family members. And then if your number is not up yet, so you're now one of the ones that your number is October 1st, start with this, okay? Go here and look at a sample DS-260. Find out exactly the information it needs. Make sure you have an answer to every single question on the DS-260 before you actually are qualified to fill out a DS-260. So that way, you know ahead of time what you still need to get before your number comes up so that you are prepared to actually do it. If you are in the US and you are in valid status, that means you are either on a student visa, um, even some people on visiting visa that hasn't expired yet. So if you're given 6 months and within, 2 months of you being in the US, your number comes up, you can apply for adjustment of status and be able to get your green card in the US without having to go through the embassy, which most of the time is faster, right? So you have a much higher opportunity of getting the green card. So please take your time with these applications. Be very diligent and make sure that you enter all the information that's required. Get anything that you don't already have, like your passport if you don't already have it, police clearance certificate if you don't already have it, your birth certificate if you do not already have it. Okay, and that's for yourself and every single family member that's going to be under you. All right, so that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you want help with any of this, whether it's the DS-260 or the green card application in the US, feel free to reach out. You can reach us at 508-443-1788 or on our website, lilylegal.com.